then move on with this news that came out of nowhere. And it literally was one day they have a meet. From what I can gather, they have a meeting, and they tell the students and the staff that you have. First, I heard it was until August, and then it's the end of June, and now it's tomorrow. You on some try and be morally right or whatever. And I'm not saying that morally right stuff that King was talking about. Right. That's different. I'm not talking about that, because ain't no way you putting women and the kids in front of water hoses and police dogs, and they don't give a damn. Excuse me. I'm a teacher, and if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too, right? So you can't tell me as a parent that you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels. The issue that it is now is blatant in everybody's face. Yeah. It's blatant in everybody's face. So we're not sitting there talking about what can we do for residents. We don't care nothing about the residents.
Never about the residents.
It's never about the residents. And the issue that people are having that I see, and they still won't let me come down to the council meeting. When I'm out of school, I'm just going to go. Be out of school in a couple weeks. I'm just going to come to one. I don't care.
And you lie.
All right. Good morning, family. How y'all doing? Grand Rising, Mr. McDowell. Appreciate you all joining us today. We're probably, we've had some little bit of situation going on in our family, so we're gonna make it short today. It's, we also want to send prayers to Brother Uncle Mickey's family on the loss of one of our aunties. Prayers for her joining her family. So I said something went wrong over here, big bro. I don't know. It could have been me.
Oh, I get it. I got you.
Yeah. He upgrade technology on me every day, so I have no clue what I'm doing. Okay.
There you go, right there. Let me make one call.
All right. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna make this brief. There's a couple of things we're gonna talk about this morning. Number one, we have to, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all very much for prayers for his family. And also happy birthday to his piece, to his other half. And happy birthday to my niece, too, who is turned 43, I think, today. So, listen, family, we have to go back, and we have to start to work on us being as highly educated about as much as possible. Okay? A lot of what we're seeing and a lot of what we are being manipulated by is the propaganda of another ideology, another group, another bunch of other people who don't want us to see us become successful. And I can't stress this enough, that 20s, 30s, like the 1900s, late 1800s, 1900s, 1910s, 20s, and 30s saw us be one of the most highly educated group of people coming from out of the warfare of the enslavement of African people. All of these inventions, the lawnmower, the washing machine, ironing board, all this other stuff, they come from us. The car, Patterson in Ohio. The airplane. There's a man who invented an airplane in North Carolina before in 1898, 1899. His name escapes me. Who invented an airplane, but it was a glider. It wasn't powered. Before Wilbur and Orville Wright and Kitty Hawk in 1903. We have to start to study. We have to force our children to study. We have to force ourselves to study. Everybody should have a library in their home. Go to the library, read books, check things out in the library. Everything, that's what we should be doing. We should be studying what moves other people make compared to moves that we're making. The roadmap for our liberation has already been laid. If people want to study someone, study Miss Ella Baker. I believe there's only one book written about her. There's another woman who brought Marcus Garvey to the United States. Her name is Queen Mother Audley Moore. She passed in like 70 something. She was like 90s, tireless worker. Studied the Black Panther Party and what they did. Sometimes we even have to implement those things in our home, right? Even on a small scale. That's beneficial. That's helpful. What we end up doing is we end up allowing we have over the last 50 something years, allowed the generations behind us to have less than the generations that did before. I don't know if y'all have heard of this man in Charleston White. His delivery is a bit much for a lot of people because he's calling names and he's acting a certain way or whatever. I don't know whether it's a gimmick or whether it's just who he is. But he makes some valid points. And one of the points that he made was that we have accomplished nothing in the last 50 years or so as compared to, excuse me, wow, my nose is itching. The old folks say somebody want to see me. If they got some money, or if it's somebody else. But he said we haven't accomplished anything in the last 50 or so years that people before us that preceded us did. And he's absolutely correct. Now, his delivery is a bit much. But some of the stuff that he talks about is true. We become more TikTokers than we have students. Okay. We'll sit there and figure that somebody like even here, right? What I try and do here, what I'm doing here, integration destroyed us. What we're trying to do here is I'm not going to teach you everything because I'm not that type of teacher, right? Even as an educator, I'm not that type of teacher. I'm going to give you bits and pieces of the puzzle, but I need you to go out there and put the puzzle together yourself. And I know we're going to put together again uh, a Black Watch book list, right? So, and we have it before, but I just got to find it and I'll resend it. But we have to start to study again and become students again, not just watching and reacting, because that's what we're doing. We watch stuff that happens in the world and we react, and we respond on emotion instead of fact. A lot of the stuff that we're having going on in the world, especially our world and our community, where is responding to things in emotion. And it's okay to be, I'm a passionate person, but I know how to control my emotion. That don't mean I'm not gonna get ticked off and y'all hear me sound like I'm mad at the world and third or fourth coming of Malcolm, because I kind of hope so. But at the same time, I can back up everything that I'm saying with fact. I didn't even bring the armament bookcase in today because we was making it short, and there's some other things that I want to point out. Okay. What do you do for us? What do you do for? Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Because that's the desire. I don't want us to continue to be perceived as a group of monolithic people that don't study. Everybody here, when they make comments, and one of these days we got to figure out how to put a phone in here in order for us to take some phone calls. But we're gonna have to limit that discussion too, is to be able to continue to prick our consciousness to see what's going on in the world. And instead of responding to it in emotion, let's respond to it in fact. Right? So we understand that at the council meetings, a lot of those become highly charged and super emotional because people are upset about some things that are not happening. But why not go there and respond in kind if you thought about things that you think about instead of being emotional? Because then you put the shift of power to their hands, and then they can choose to, well, we're gonna have, and you only got 3 minutes to speak, and you only got to do this, and if you say anything out of line that sounds offensive to me, then we're gonna put you out. That's because people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, as Ida B. Wells said. Go check her out too, because she was rough. And once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, why are we looking at a group of people who sit down once or twice a week to conduct business of the city instead of saying, hey, Brother Mick, you know what we're going to do? I'm not going to sit around and talk to these people anymore. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go and we're going to get shovels and we're going to get, yes, sir.
Hold that thought 1 second.
Okay.
We're kind of shifting over here. Let me reload. You back live.
Okay. But, okay, so I'm going to respond to what Mr. Bird said. Mr. Bird, you said we feel instead of thinking that we will corrode our ability to use our emotion when we need to. But if you're using your emotion, you're putting your hands into somebody else. That's a tactic. That's not even you. Okay. And I'm not saying this was a great idea, but during some of the marches, the march on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and with the water hoses and the dogs, they're trying to show some morality that the other group that they were fighting against to be moral doesn't have. Everybody was taught to not respond emotionally. Jackie Robinson was taught not to respond emotionally because the owner of the Dodgers had a bigger ideal about being able to break the color barrier in baseball, but in reality was looking at how he can make money off black players. So they couldn't use Josh Gibson, they couldn't use Satchel Paige because they were too fiery. So they found somebody that they could teach a countenance about how he acted. But if you go down and know, let's say we go to council and somebody's got we got an agenda that we're going down. They have an agenda, we have one too. There's some things that are going on, whether it be trash pickup, whether it be garbage. I don't care what it is. But if you go down as a knowledgeable group, instead of responding emotionally, you respond intellectually and intelligently. You change the shift of power and balance and put it back in the citizens' hands. Like I was saying, okay, well, we got this abandoned house over here that need the grass cut or this, that, the other. We call the city, nothing happens. Guess what? Hey, bro, I need, somebody got a lawnmower? I need an extra lawnmower. And then find me a couple of kids. Come on, we're going to go over here and cut this yard and clean this yard up. And if that means that we got to get sledgehammers and beat the house, tear the abandoned house down that's been there then we'll get some sledgehammers or whatever. Or we'll go over to the rental place and go get something to knock it down until they can get people over there. That's taking power back from somebody else who's slow to move, and then we assuming power in our community. When people don't want to assume power in their community and you put it in the hands of, okay, hey, what do you think about what's going on in the government with Trump? Nothing, I don't. Because as long as I can work, I have to take care of the community in which I live there and worry about the people that I need to worry about there where I'm at. I can't worry about what's going on with this person that's supposed to represent me when I need to take care of where I'm at. What am I worry about that for? It's very clear that that person doesn't have my concerns. I do. That's all that matters. Should they? Absolutely. Because you all heard me talk about the late Jack Miner, who would come in our community. He'd walk around, park his car, typically sometimes in front of our house, and people was wondering what the heck was going on. And he'd walk around and walk the neighborhood. You're not going to get that anymore because these people are afraid to do that. So instead, you monitor the community. I still walk it around the streets and speak to people because I've been there long enough to be able to do that. And we still have to be informed. We still have to learn. Okay, I'm going to give y'all a couple of books, and then we're going to slide over to the left on something that me and Uncle Mick was talking about earlier today as we were powwowing before we started. Yeah, well, baby, we become lazy and complacent because we become fat, right? What we become complacent in our oppression, and we're comfortable. That's the word. We're comfortable in our oppression. As long as I can still eat and I can go places and I can have a crab boil and I can go take me a vacation somewhere, I'm good. I'm just sitting around there where I ain't struggling. We are struggling, but I'm struggling less because I can do these things and I make being poor look good. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out why I got to pay the light bills is high and all this other stuff. Hey, that's how I go. Because we're comfortable in our oppression. Because we wouldn't know what to do if we were liberated in the first place. But okay. Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr., the last publication that he did before he passed away in 2014. He did another publication of it in 2013. So it's like he wrote it in like 1964, 65. See, now here we go, right here. New one, 6350. My great grandfather was part of a group in Alabama called the Do Well and Uplift Society, where the men in the community would solve the problem of the community. But we've lost that because most of us don't want to do no work. That we don't want to do any work. We don't want to work. We don't want to study. Most of us, for real, want to chase and lay up and not do anything, and think that we have overcome and I've made it and all that other stuff because we can integrate and live somewhere else. Meanwhile, we complain and cry and want to pray about the young people that are taking their lives because they don't see a road that they should travel. And because they don't see a road that they should travel, they take their lives. They don't care. And they super smart, highly intelligent, but they don't see a reason why they should be doing anything. So we got to fix that. Mm-hmm. Because we can't talk about the children of our future and listen to whoever that was that sung that song, and they like this. And it's not all of them. But of course, the media, not this particular group. And I'm saying it not because it's my brother, because this is the only one that I've seen share some real truthful information out there in the world, unbiased. Because if he was not, I tell him too, and we have that type of relationship. But
That's a fact.
we have to continue to later. We need to do something like what your great grandfather did. But people lazy, and again, 'cause we're comfortable in our oppression, so we don't want to sit around there and say, look, we're going, because the bigger part for certain men is that my ego says I got to be in charge. It's not about your ego being in charge. It's about doing the work that we claim that we're going to do in order to be effective for our young people. If somebody got more education than me, what am I going to sit around here? And I'm not talking about your PhD. The PhD really don't mean nothing. But if somebody's got more time and a different wisdom than I do, I'd gladly change my seat. No problem. But I'm not going to be egotistical. Well, I the one started this, so I'm the one. No. 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 If you got a different strategy that's going to make it work, let's make it work. Use the strategy. All right, big bro.
What it do? What it do?
What's going on, man? What's the other part of the agenda this morning?
This morning, we'll give them a little preview to what we was talking about. I watched Shannon Sharp, and that's what I was calling you about. And I was like, man, have you watched this story?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I know enough of it to know that what I feel that happened, he's not married.
Right.
And so what we were talking about before, when you reach a certain status, people have to learn how to be careful in how they walk. We should do that anyway.
Yeah.
Because we should do that. I don't care if your status is $2 in your pocket or $1.25 in your pocket, all the way up to millions of dollars in your pocket. We're always going to be watched.
Right.
And there's always going to be people that are going to throw stuff at you. Right. And just like the one Muslim brother I told you about, he said if we all had that type of money, we would live all decadent lifestyles like the lifestyle of those they call it rich and famous.
Facts.
Every single one of us.
Facts.
You have to be a disciplined man or a disciplined woman not to be able to do so. Not to say, no, I'm good. I don't need to have that type of life.
Right.
Or I don't need to do those types of things because my character and my growth and development mean far more than me chasing $2 whatever and all of this other stuff.
Nah, you telling the truth, because like I was looking at Sterling, because Sterling Sharp went into the Hall of Fame yesterday. Yeah. And it was talking about like how ESPN, he said he knew early in the week ESPN was gonna let him go. Yeah. Because they couldn't have it. But I was looking at, because if anybody go watch Club Shay Shay, he interviewing his brother Sterling. I heard the story before, like how they didn't have indoor plumbing, and he was talking about how they had to take baths. Yeah. And they was like,
they had a really poor upbringing.
Right. And he was like, Sterling was like, would it have been different if they grew up in Chicago to where they grew up? He said, like, when they had to take baths, they had catfish in there before the catfish could eat the bugs. You know what I'm saying? They was drinking well water, like the stuff that they did. And he said he never looked at it like Sterling said it was never no big thing to him that they didn't have that. They had to go outside to do the, number one, number two, whatever. Right. He had to have like the little honchos over him, Right. And he was like, he wanted to be a role model. He's like, he didn't look at it like he was mad at his parents, grandparents for not, you know what I'm saying? But that's how a lot of living was for people in them rural areas. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you was black. And it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Now he got this money. It was like, to me, it was like, I look at it kind of different. Because, ever since he did that Cat Williams interview and Monique, I believe they was giving him game.
They were.
And Shannon, it didn't catch on to Shannon, because if you listen to it, it seemed like he was spoiled, even though because his brother hit the league before him,
Right.
and he said he wanted to be his brother role model.
Right.
Like, he would give him, you know what I'm saying? Even though he went to the league and was doing, he was, you can tell they sisters is like, they, you know what I'm saying? They was kind of protective over him.
Right. Okay. Before we, let me address this statement.
Go ahead.
With Sister.
Isaiah Quill.
Yeah.
Mama Quill.
Yeah, Mama Quill. You're right. But we have to remember the importance of women that they've always played in traditional societies, and I'm not talking about here, right? Because the role has been changed. And the other part about that is you're absolutely right. Men have to be men, but most men don't know how to be men because men want to be competitive against each other instead of saying, let's work together in order to resolve our own issues. We had that back in the 1900s, the 1910s. That's where you get, even though it's not as effective as it used to be, the Niagara movement, the League of what's turned into the NAACP, the League of Black Negro businessmen, which would include men and women. Then later on, you had all of these Urban League, sleeping car porters. You had all of these men who were there to organize men who were real men, who were very clear about what the problems were that we were facing, and definitely what the enemy was. Now we don't see that. Or if we do see it, we have to be quiet because I'm getting a job from them. So, but now back to this other point. They were trying to tell him something. And then I think that because he had this large flux of income coming in, he allowed his lower self to rule his higher self. And he lost sight of what he was and what he did and what he was supposed to be doing. And I can't say that somebody sent a woman to him. And that might have happened. But if you were on somebody's OnlyFans and whatever, and you did these couple things, you see the sister didn't say nothing. But the little white girl is the one who's trying to sue him for $50 million. Right?
Facts.
Okay. So she's trying to get a deal out of it. But you're 20 something years old. You're an adult. 21, 22, 25, whatever. You're an adult. So as an adult, you made a choice. So you chose to because of his celebrity, you chose to answer the call, and you chose to engage with him in any activity that he paid for. And now you want to, but this is high-tech lynching using media that they've done before. Same thing happened in Tiger Woods. He got close to breaking Jack Nicklaus' record, and all of a sudden, all of this other stuff pop off. People started to say stuff. After he won his 12th gold green jacket at the Masters, then Fuzzy Zeller said something about now all of a sudden we gonna have fried chicken and whatever else. Collard greens here at the Masters from now on. You know, his mother was, well, you're really not black.
Combination.
Yeah. You know, saying these things. So you see that this too was a high-tech lynching. But he put the noose around his neck by deciding that he was gonna go and chase these people without doing something and putting something in place to say, hey, look, whatever, stay here. He didn't do that.
Because I was reading what Mama Quill was saying. I put it back up if y'all didn't see it. And then I kind of believe Shannon wasn't hearing anything Monique and Cat Williams had to say. His mentality seemed to be that he has arrived, that didn't apply to him.
Absolutely. So they showed him. They showed him better than they could tell him.
Because remember it was gems that was dropped. Let's just go back with Jonathan Majors. Remember when Cat Williams was trying to give him an example?
The same thing.
Said what happened. The girl said the domestic violence. Remember he was playing the movie Kang. Now people don't know. when you go play the Marvel Comics movies, do you know you can set yourself up for money?
Forever.
I'm just saying. And you see, took him down.
Yeah, because he around there, even though he was running away from the girl, and he found out that later on, he ended up losing 2 years of being able to make money.
Right.
And then he says later on that he was glad that he went through those things because he would never been able to meet the lady that he married. But you're a celebrity.
Facts.
You're making money. You made these movies. You made these monies. Why are you not understanding that you have to move differently? You're right, baby. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have to. I'm gonna tell you, if something ever happened to me that wondrous, man, he still wear the same stuff. He still act the same way. He might got a new tires on the car. That's all he got. Because you're not gonna, number one, you're not gonna know. And if you do know, you ain't nobody. Don't nope. If I ain't, you didn't go through some sort of process of talking to all of my family before you even come talk to me.
Right.
Well, it ain't happening.
I mean, but to me, but see, what I look at the deeper side of it is, remember, all this came out when he was gonna get that $100 million contract.
Of course. So they cut this. What did they do?
Yeah.
They cut. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. They grabbed his balls, cut him off because you didn't know how to control them.
Right, and they fed your greed to you. Because remember, prior they was trying to say, but like you say, the media. Oh, he was, they was trying to say he was dealing with his stylist. Remember, he ended up having to get rid of his stylist.
Right. Yep.
Then you know
that wasn't even nothing happening.
Right. Remember, it was just the pressure he was going through. Then remember the stuff at Fox with over
Skip
this.
Bayless.
Remember the stuff that came out with them about the inappropriate stuff with the co-workers, the women, and all that. You see, Joy got fired from there.
Right.
So you see in the Ultra, it's like you saw a lot of stuff. Like the work environment was kind of it was, but it's like any. I know most work environments they're gonna say you can't talk to you don't supposed to have relationships at the job, but if you're around the person, man, then they're 10 to 15 years and y'all like each other, stuff can happen. But I get his rules, but stuff can happen. But the point I want to make, you can take it from here. Why don't none of these people, like with the brand that they got, create your own? Why are you steady going to these places that can fire you? And I get
because we love our oppression. We love our oppression. We think you say this all the time. This is your phrase. They think that their ice is colder than our ice. Yeah. So instead of me taking that and being business smart, so he always say a country boy. So saying you a country boy don't mean you ain't super intelligent.
Because a lot of them was smart.
Super smart. They had to always figure out how to make it work. Right? But in his case, he wasn't just a country boy, he was a country bumpkin. Mm-hmm. Which means he thought with the wrong head. Mm-hmm. I understand. My dad had a rule, and I live by this rule to this day. And his rule was, you never, excuse me again, this is more than family, you don't shit where you eat at.
Facts.
There have been teachers and parents that I have turned down relationships with because it's going to turn out messy if it don't turn into what you want.
Facts.
When he worked in the Buick Foundry, I said it before, the first black foreman in the country in 1953, he had all kind of stuff thrown at him, but he knew what he was dealing with at home, what he had at home, and he wasn't going to throw that away for a 2-minute piece, at least according to what I know. I wasn't around him all the time, but we're
going to leave it at that.
We're going to leave it there. Because I don't want no little brothers and little sisters coming up talking about some shit. Right?
Facts.
But if you're even at that, or just somebody I work with, we like each other, that's cool. No, I'm good. Now, if you lose your job, I lose my job, then maybe possibly, or you switch out. We ain't working in the same place, maybe the same industry, but in the same place that we work at, it's going to always be messy because people don't know how to keep their emotion out of the way.
Facts.
So by you doing the OnlyFans, thinking you sneaky, doing this other. Now, again, I'm gonna say this: the little sister didn't say nothing because he was supposed to be involved with two. One was a white girl and one was a sister. The white girl is the one threw him under the bus.
Ding, 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 ding.
How many lives have been lost because of that?
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. The boy you was just talking about, who Jonathan Majors, lost 2 years of money and all kind of other stuff because you decided to do the same thing. When are we going to learn?
Don't forget the brother that remember at Wisconsin wide receiver.
That, right, that man lost everything. All because somebody alleged that he did something and it wasn't even true, but because of an allegation, he lost a career. He lost a whole career. This is nothing but high-tech lynchings.
Facts. And the brothers have to understand it's not being funny, but to me, Monique, whether you like her or not, whether you like Cat or not, they was trying to get his brother the game when you come into Hollywood. Like he said, he said, Cat said he find Good Morning Concrete. He said he find, white women beautiful. He said, but when you coming out here, it can get tricky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's just go with this. Look at all the brothers. What was Cat dropping dimes at? What did he say? They dropped he said all of them. Get rid of their women, would they get a light-skinned woman?
Mm-hmm.
Go look at all the ones when they drop their women, what do they go get?
Yeah. Look, OJ, he was with Marguerite.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Marguerite, he would not have the college career and the pro career that he had.
Yeah.
Then when he reached a certain status, now he caught up. He's gone now, but he got caught up in some stuff that they claimed that he didn't do, and then they turned around and sued him on another matter, civilly, I believe, and got money from him. Like who? Where the hell we do that at?
And still he got jail time.
And still he got jail time for something else.
But they was going back for what they felt he didn't get charged.
And he didn't get charged. And that's all it was. We have a double. In this country, there's a double standard and a double life.
Oh yeah, it's hypocrisy from the soil.
Right. So if we're not walking in and I'm not, again, I'm gonna say this. I'm not talking about the morality bullshit that King was talking about. You should be the dog with me or water hose at me. You got something coming back. But we still are. Oh, we can do what we want to do. No, we can't.
Facts.
We cannot. We cannot walk on two. There's an old African proverb that says the only animal that can walk on the fence is a cat. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You cannot walk both sides of the fence at the same time.
And I think that's what a lot of time with us, we don't get caught up and know how to build for ourselves. Like I say, Shannon Sharp, even though them endorsements, they left right now because I think what his brother did, and I'm glad what ESPN did. I'm glad they highlighted all this stuff that went down. You know why? Because what the brother did for him, threw him right back out there on the map.
Well, and that's right because Sterling had to take the place of Shannon's misguided opportunity to think that I was doing something else. So what did Sterling do? Put him right back. She checked him and put him right back in place.
Yeah, you saw the brotherly love.
Yeah, he showed him the love that put him back on wherever he was supposed. How he was supposed to. Even though but if you get ready to get $100 million, you get ready to think that you can do anything.
But it'll come back. See, this the thing. Even with that $100 million, that's why I love when Joe Budden came out when he was talking about. Because remember, Spotify, he walked away from $100 million. Joe Budden, but Joe was like, "What is that? They gonna give me?" And now he gonna make $20 million a year.
Right.
That he gonna make more. Just say in 10 years than what that. See, if they giving you, that's what we get tricked at. Oh, I'm gonna give you this $100 million, but they done made down there $4 or $5 billion off of you. Until we learn how to create our own. Shannon didn't need them. ESPN needed Shannon.
Right. Because look at where he came from with First Take, and then he does his own podcast that got with that Cat Williams interview, he got over 2 million views for that, if not
Fact.
more. Who knows how much it is now? But the thing is this: you still decided to get in your lower self.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
The sister that you did the same thing with didn't say a word. Now this woman is saying, "You raped me. Get out of here. You willingly came over to where I was at, even if I made the invitation."
He just got his wake up call.
Yeah, which we all better be to understand that anytime you reach a certain status of whatever, that's going to happen.
Yeah. Just look at Boston coach. He got in trouble because he was cheating with one of the executive wives.
That the dumbest.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but see, this goes back to tell you, they don't want you. Go back to Donald Sterling. How mad was Donald Sterling that you was messing with Magic Johnson?
Right.
He didn't care if it was really when you get down to you dealing with a black man. See, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people don't really want to hear this is in 2025, that they don't think that it's all right. You can go deal with outside your race. It's
taboo.
Yeah,
it's going to always
taboo.
be taboo.
Right.
It's going to be taboo to the people like the Margaret Singers and those people who believe that there should be no race mixing.
Right. And don't get it twisted. I'm not the only one that look down. Damn, every other nationality look down on blacks. They like to mess with our women.
Right, yes.
But they don't want you there touching theirs.
Right. So that means even going to the local grocery stores or local gas stations, and you see a sister behind understand if she willing to, if they you poor and broke, well, you know what's going on, so you know what the deal is, you know how this is gonna work. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what they do.
Yeah.
And then we should make it so that it's if you do that, there's gonna be a problem.
I mean, it's just the reality of it. You got some who still are not acceptable to it. Not all, because love don't have no color.
No, it doesn't.
Love that show you how people can know they can lose their life and will still go over there and take a chance of being killed and still go date outside. You know what I'm saying? When I done seen people, heard of stories where people that got disowned by their families.
There was a man and a woman in Virginia in the late 40s, early 50s. The last name is Love. And he fell in love with this black woman. And his family had nothing to do with him anymore for the rest of their lives. And I think they passed away maybe 15, 20 years ago, right? Which is the one instance of, the love that I know of that was love. And we're not saying that can be a possibility. That can be something that happens. The issue is that what are the repercussions when you reach a certain level of money?
Right.
And then when we talk about how our women are neglected in those instances, most of the time, Jalen Hurts married the sister that helped him write that $250 billion contract he just got. But he was taught how to walk a certain path and walk it a certain way.
Facts.
And then all of the people that he has around him as his management team are women. Facts. Who are very good at what they do.
Facts. But see, he's not going to get highlighted for that. You know what they're going to want to show? The black man and black woman don't get along. See, that's all they do is want to highlight.
Once again, this goes back to propaganda that we always talk about.
But we be partaking in it like you hear. See, because ain't nobody said nothing when Russell Simmons' daughter was over there with that billionaire white.
But dude was 80-something years old.
Ain't nobody saying nothing. That's what I'm saying. This show you the hypocrisy. So who did Shannon, what was his rise so good that people was getting mad? He was moving too quick that people might, you know what I'm saying? You have to throw all that in. I know I'm throwing on my tinfoil Koofy hat right now, but I'm just saying you have to look at all of that. People will get jealous. Remember, Steve Harvey was mad that he let Cat Williams come on there and prove that they was doing a lot of lying and player hating. That was going on.
Right.
You know this bootleg. When you get in that little clique of these blacks that, what they took it from what it should have been and what the founders who wanted to do that for ours, W.E.B. Du Bois, wanted to have, where we educate our people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But we get ones like, it's just so easy, man, when they give you that money and you not used to going to this, just look at when blacks get money, what they do.
But look at what you said. When they give you that money,
Facts.
they can control the narrative. Malcolm said that back in the 60s because they had people that were speaking about certain things because they were getting paid by the establishment to come in and sing and do concerts and this and that and other. Meanwhile, he, who didn't have a platform other than the Nation of Islam, and later on the Muslim Mosque Inc. and OAAU, that was his only platform, and only people made donations to him in order to make sure that he could move and travel and take care of his family. When you get paid by somebody, you have to walk by the dialogue that they write your script for.
Oh, facts. And I agree. I mean, and that's what people can't see, even on the low level, like where we at right now. Why you think Channel 12 ain't gonna say nothing? Because they getting paid.
Yeah, they getting the right. And this is the reason why I said what I said about 18 News Media Group and Winters and Mickey, is because you all are telling a truth from a perspective of a grassroots media situation, media group, then you're being factual because you're being honest. You're not picking a side, right? Even though I know y'all pick a side about the election that's coming up on Tuesday, but you're talking about the best person that's going to be there based upon fact instead of based upon popularity.
Facts.
Okay. That's what you do. Wait a minute. Where's my girl at? She ain't on here yet. Man, she better wake up before we get out of here.
They was rocking at Maurice's last night.
That ain't got nothing to do with her being on there for me.
Oh, I got you.
Man, Cinder miss. Cinder, I'm being messy this morning. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. But we have to understand that.
Facts.
There's a double-edged, layered, four-sided sword when it comes to us in this country.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're being ignorant of it because we can go eat ice on the other side of Miller Road instead of eating ice over here where we make our own ice with our own ice maker.
I agree.
And so therefore, when we lose sight and we think that we can do these things and be decadent because we got this level of money, they're expecting that.
Facts.
And because they control the paycheck, like we talked before, well, we'll make over $1 trillion. But we're not manufacturing anything because we don't have a community to manufacture with.
Nothing.
So we get all of, you're right. It could have been Sharp's communications groups or whatever, where he said, I'm gonna be smart and parlay my success into something like Tyler Perry. Facts. Whether we like him or not.
Facts.
He the one got an old airport. He got his own fucking landing strip at his house.
Facts.
Just do fly mile airplanes like I used to, but these are like huge. They don't even fit in his room. And he can land his own personal jet on his now. Or who is that? Cat Williams, who's buying a old Air Force base or naval base or Army base or whatever, and can turn that into something. They're moving in a little bit different power. And you're not going to hear nothing about what's going on with them. That's right, 2 Americas. There we go. You're not going to hear nothing about what's going on with them other than people now want to make allegations. Well, when I was going down there, Tyler Perry did this, and now all of a sudden, he did this to me. Get out of here. Because, see, this is what I don't like about how we do stuff especially when you have somebody that dies, right? So now we want to talk about how Steve and Bernie wasn't all of that close. Bernie never said nothing. Bernie didn't say a word. So why are you gonna bring that shit up later on when he's not here to defend himself?
See, that's because Steve went on there and started that. You know, he didn't put it publicly, but Bernie had said was Steve had tried to undercut him for. But that's what blacks do.
Well, but everybody does it.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
say nothing about
yeah.
everybody else doing it.
Yeah, but he kept it between them until and when Steve Harvey went on the Shannon Sharp show. That's why Cat felt like he had to defend him because he said that man wasn't here to defend himself, and you put out your version.
And and that's my point.
Yeah.
Why wait until he's gone? He died in 2008.
Right.
So why you wait 15, 17 years later to say something?
Right. Because people be we getting a lot of revisionist history. People want to rewrite the history and change how stuff was going on. When you get put up out like when they put you in that camera, it's something about somebody calling your name and you start to believe in you bigger than the program.
Yeah, man, that agenda that's the covenant that America has with the white America has with every other group in the whole world is you're never going to be above us. Akon had an idea that he wanted to build a super city in Senegal. Mm-hmm. It's dead. People killed it. Yogi, what's up, baby?
That's the DC fan.
Yeah, that's my DC girl. Yeah. I come out that way, I'm gonna look you up.
Oh man, we gotta get out. That's what I was telling Winter. I'm like, man, we gotta take 18, go on the road, hit some of these
yeah, for sure.
Get out here and put it on the road, do some shows some other time.
Let me know on the weekend, bro.
For sure. I sure will. I promise.
That wonderful thing is getting ready to start up in a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, but on the weekends, shoot.
I mean, we're gonna
fly.
Yeah, we're gonna put something together, man. If we have to do it down in the deal, we have to take it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, cause I really want to. Cause listen, election season is upon us. Come after tomorrow, people understand this. Just what you voting. I mean, come Tuesday. Remember, Tuesday is just half the battle. Starting in 2026 is a whole nother fight you got to do because you got to get out there now. Everybody got to be voted. So you got to get the ones that you're helping get in and try to keep them in and get some new ones in. It's a big battle. You got your governor, you got your mayor races coming up, and you already see what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see all these laws. The Democrats done played so many games. But my thing is this. I don't want us to get so far where we think the Republicans finna come save us.
Nobody's coming to save us.
That's what
nobody's coming to save us.
I don't want them.
We have to get out of that. Even if that person gets it, I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
I'm glad. See, this is what I love about my brother Mick, is we have this flow that, and it's respectful and it's love. It ain't you don't know what you're talking, because he's super knowledgeable. I promise you, he is. But what we have to do is, number one, no matter who is in the office, whether it be governor, mayor, city council, state rep, whatever, what are we doing in our communities to empower our communities and make it better?
Facts.
This is not expecting somebody who is, what did Malcolm say? If you're getting paid by them, then you're going to speak only to what it is. It took Dick Gregory a long time to understand that.
Right.
It took him a long time. So later on in his life, now you hear Dick Gregory that you wanted to hear in the 60s.
Right.
But he had to be careful because he knew who was paying him.
Yeah.
And so later on, when he started to do his health thing, now all of a sudden you hear a different Dick Gregory.
Facts.
Now you hear Dick Gregory that's talking about how Malcolm died. You hear Dick Gregory that's scathing the system because he found some independent wealth.
Right.
If your wealth is dependent upon someone else, you're going to speak their language. And if you don't, they're going to smack you.
Yeah.
This was a high-tech lynching.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, I don't give a damn what nobody says. You're not going to go back 30 years, 40, 50 years ago talking about some things happen. Camille has not opened her mouth. So why are we gonna sit there and believe in it?
Facts.
If you talking about the 60s and all, but when he talked about buying NBC, that's when all of this stuff came out.
Oh yeah, they all of it. And see, that's what like it gets me. And you have to be careful because to me, I think what a lot of these brothers get caught up in, man, they like you said, they be ruled by their lower self because they never was probably able to talk to none of them women before. Them type of women. So when they feel they get this money, and I do believe what Rizza Islam said, it was the honey trap that was put in on Shannon, because you had people he was moving up too fast, and a lot of people weren't liking how Shannon. When people see you moving up and you getting there, that's just like on a small scale. On this scale, if people say they've been there 10 years doing this, and you come in and you start moving up, they don't like that because you changing the. You know what I'm saying? Like they.
Go ahead.
And I'm just saying now they might feel like they benefactors might be like, oh, let me put money behind them and I'll take, and not knowing you probably ain't the type like, no, I ain't gonna sell out for the money. I'm gonna keep doing it the way we doing it, crowdfunded.
Right. And because there's a level of integrity, there's a level of order that some people you can't speak to. You're not gonna be able to speak that to me. Malcolm, in a 1962 interview, said that FBI came to him and they wanted him to become an informant. And he told them, I'm never, ever going to sell my people out. Get under my
facts.
So he was very clearly not chosen by a system, whereas somebody else was given a different spotlight. Now, I don't think that King understood the trap that he was walking into.
That's a deep one there.
Okay. I don't think he really did not understand the trap that he was walking into. And they kept him pigeonholed in that part of the 1963 speech that he gave, I Have a Dream. And they kept him pigeonholed there until he told Harry Belafonte, I fear I've led our people into a burning house. So then he started to change his tune. And after that, he ended up losing his life.
Facts.
But he was chosen to be put in that position because his position. Well, we're going to follow Mahatma Gandhi, who was a racist, by the way, for those of y'all that didn't know, who did not like black people. And he kind of denounced King when he was following his peaceful protest, his ideology of peaceful protest. And not too many people know about that too. Okay. They chose him to do that because of the option was Malcolm.
Right. And they weren't going to go for that.
They weren't going for that. They couldn't get rid of Malcolm that way. They had to find somebody to help do that. So they chose King because he was given we can still beat the hell out of y'all and fire hose and rape and kill and everything else. And you're choosing this. Now, again, you have the South versus North, just like you had with Dr. Du Bois and Dr. Washington.
Right.
Okay. The same thing. But instead of allowing them to unite, Malcolm was very bitter and vocal about how you're letting people lose their lives, whereas we're saying if you cross us, you pay.
Facts.
Now, we're not going to break your laws, but if you cross us this way, you pay.
In full.
We cashing your check in. Okay?
In full.
We cashing the whole check in. And I don't care. Go do your research. If you think I'm joking about or just making this up, I'm not. Because he was the one who created the FOI.
Man, people don't understand. This, I remember watching one of the tapes when I think it was in the 40s or 50s or something, when the police called themselves and whooped the early members back then. Do you know the NOI members took the gun from the police and whooped them?
Yep, and put them out.
They said when they
about their way.
So when they went to court, the judge said, "Did you get any of them? Y'all ain't get one. They whooped them."
and they didn't dismiss the case
That's what I'm
because the
saying.
police is out of order.
Right.
See, we can't, because of our level of separation, the police can be out of order. And we see that in council, police be out of order. But if you're out of order, they're going to respond in kind.
Facts.
Shannon Sharp, you are out of order. You got a response.
A damn good.
Tiger Woods was out of order. You got a response.
Ain't been the same
Ain't
since.
been the same since. And they ain't going to win another term because they weren't going to let him. They did Serena Williams the same way.
Oh yeah, they'll get you.
They're going to find a way to get you.
Listen, why you think they so happy? And I'm not trying to be
No, you tell the fact this
racist
is
and nothing.
facts.
They so happy that they finally got a white heavyweight champion. They've been listen, you have to go back to after
what's the name?
Usyk. You got to
Yeah.
go back and look when they've been looking for a champion. America, when you go look what they say, why you think when Hillary told them, no, take the blacks out? They weren't saying that for nothing.
Do we even understand as much as Jewish people, and they have a right to,
Yes, they have a damn good right to.
complain there were 16 million so-called gypsy people that were murdered at the same time and 18 million African people that were murdered then at that time? No complaints about that.
Mm-mm.
But you got one group of people that have a monopoly on complaints. There were 1,250 slave ships built on record that there are records of that brought over 12.5 million people to the Americas, but over 100 million people were put off the continent during that transatlantic slave trade. And you figure we can't say a damn thing? There were towns and towns and towns and cities that we built hand by hand that were obliterated off the map, definitely over 60. And you mean tell me we supposed to shut up? And we supposed to put somebody else's egregious acts above ours? They don't.
That's why I say look at the OJ case. They still got to get OJ some time. That's why I don't be wanting to hear when they say slavery happened back. No, and y'all don't want nobody else to forget theirs. We the only ones supposed to forget because what we went through.
Because we supposedly have, keyword supposedly, have an opportunity just like everybody else.
Do we?
No, hell no, we don't.
You went through the DEI. Who was the last ones to benefit from that?
White women.
No, the last ones to benefit.
Oh, black women.
Yeah, that's the point that I'm saying. You got a Margaret Sanger. Look at all the different laws you had. You had Hillary Clinton saying we need to bring the black youth to a heel. You got the super predator thing. But see, all these stuff was being told about the black youth. You never hear no other races that race got to be dealt like this.
Well, see, what's the race that's going into the schools and killing people?
Yeah, but that thing would do that. But see, that's what they gonna miss that. See, because it's their media. Okay. Like they say, history, his story.
Right.
So you gonna get what they telling us. Like if I ain't bring the book, how many people would have knew the book without Sanctuary?
Right.
See, these are things that we should be knowing. If Brother Roberts ain't put me hip to the different we only think it was Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? They want to tell you the first terrorist attack on America was 9/11. Ain't nobody telling you about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, you know what I'm saying?
In 1993, when that boy tried to blow up the building down there in
Oklahoma,
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
Right. So but see, here's the other part about that, and I know we're gonna go because we gotta, because we ain't trying to. Mama's probably waking up now.
Yeah, for sure.
Is if you're a terrorist, you've terrorized people across the world. You terrorized the Native Americans, the Africans that were here, the Hispanics that were here. You terrorized people in other countries all around the world. You expect not to be called a terrorist back, and there's not going to be responses to your terrorism.
I look at this. What our sister from DC just said. I put it up here for you.
The term welfare queen still circulates. Yeah, absolutely. Why? And that was started by Reagan on purpose. But yet, who is on welfare more than anybody else per level of population?
And they tricked him. That goes back to President Nixon when he said, long as I can, I'm not saying it verbatim, keep a poor white person think they got more than a black man, black person.
That was Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon Johnson, my
Lyndon
bad.
Johnson. No, you good, you good,
yeah,
you
yeah.
good.
But I'm just saying, but these are the things, and you can't, and they cannot tell me that these policies, they're still on the books. Like,
even if it's not on the books, it's in everybody's mind.
Right.
It's in everybody's mind. It's never going to be listen, you had one black president, not excluding what J.A. Rogers wrote in this booklet in the 1920s called 5 Negro Presidents.
Mm-hmm.
But you have one black recent president. Now, everything that anybody has done after him has been to destroy what he put in place for the right structures for the country.
Facts.
So here this person is, when black people thought he was going to do stuff, and then he wasn't, because he said he had to be the president of the whole United States, not just the black part.
Right.
And you turn around and make sure that you purposely destroy any and everything that he supposedly put in place as a policy. And then you're going to keep on ramping it up. Now, I don't never, and I don't get into politics like that. You know that.
Facts.
But here's Nixon and Watergate was a criminal act in 1972. Nobody has ever written a law that says a person has had 34 convictions to be able to be elected president when they weren't going to elect a black woman who's married to a white man as president, when we just had somebody else in there because of racism and sexism in this country.
Right. A mixture on that end. It was both.
It was both and. And my point to her, and I know that's your baby, right, is stop putting entertainers in front of me. Put people that can intellectualize some things in front of me, because I don't know none of them and I could care less about them.
Facts.
Because that's where, for me, that's where she blew it at.
Right. They do it. Just think about it. To get the magical shot, they have strippers. Oh, you can get free weed.
Right.
This is the stuff they do to our community, and I think it's
and
a
it backfired. And it's disrespectful. It's disgraceful. And for her, it backfired. And she paid a price for it.
Right. That's what it is.
Is that Tito, your boy?
I think that is Tito.
Hey, man, if that's I need a hat, bro. Stop playing around.
I got to get to working on that, bro.
No, Tito's just supposed to bring one over here for me. You play too much.
Yeah, Tito.
I don't even know who you are, but I love you anyway because you're part of the family.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, and my girl didn't show up, man. I'm disappointed. You better be here on Tuesday.
Don't forget. We coming on with Tuesday, and because I was rushing this morning because of a little death in the family.
Yeah.
He said Mick give me an address and I will mail them to you. Hey, Tito, I'm gonna send the address to you.
All right.
Just text me your address.
Okay.
And I'll text it to Tito. I got you, Tito, and I'll send it to you. I'll cash app. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do Tuesday. We're gonna get off into that because it's conspiracy.
Right.
And that's what we do. We talk about conspiracy. But I do want to go deeper in that. Who did Shannon piss off? Who did he? Because nothing happen by desire. It's not by chance. I mean,
yeah, no, it don't matter who he pissed off. It's the fact that your sexual exploit, your low level stuff got caught, and you got caught up, and you got busted. That was it.
And they just wanted to defame. They wanted to embarrass him to the public.
Yeah.
But I think them doing that, Shannon, them people might be gone for right now, but they don't understand. You free now. You got freedom. To me, I don't think how good it might look bad now, but I don't think how good it is that his brother going in the Hall of Fame and his brother said, now you got 2 jackets. Because he know if it wasn't for Shannon pleading on them, the Fox Sports and all them different programs when he was like, my brother deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. And he gave his brother during a dark period of time right now. I don't think Shannon understand you free now. So all them contracts, them people got to deal with Shannon now. Right. Ain't no more middleman.
No, but here's the thing.
Be
tight and do it right.
Facts.
Be tight and do it right. You have to look at this as I'm just not, hey man, I'm just a good country boy from Georgia. Hell no. I'm a businessman. Facts. This is how we need to operate. This is how we gonna move. You can still laugh and joke and do what you want to on the side over there. But look at Shaq.
Yeah.
Bro.
He went through it.
He went through it too, because he
made that
messed
book.
up. He messed up.
He
but
was
as a businessman,
smart.
look how he moving. And his daddy told him, "Hey, somebody got to go get your mom a doctor. It's going to be you." And he went to school, back to school, to get his PhD in business.
Facts.
And now he's moving, making more money than he's ever made before on business moves.
But you got to get that wake-up call that'll make you tighten it up. You know,
so why we got to keep on getting a wake-up call, and we didn't see wake-up calls for the last 400 years?
Because everybody not woke, brother. You know, everybody not woke.
All right, Brother Malcolm.
Yeah, everybody not woke.
See,
everybody wasn't woke. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it just showed when I was seeing this brother when he said, man, you was in college, you had this and that, and I did this for you because how they grew up.
Right.
So he spoiled. I'm looking at it like, Shannon was kind of spoiled. He didn't understand because when he made more than his brother made, in the league and outside the league.
Yeah.
So, you know, trying to wake them. Everybody now woke. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they say they woke. And look how our counterparts now want to steal the wokeness. I love what Bill Burr said. White people want to steal the wokeness. They don't even know what wokeness is. Wokeness mean for blacks that wouldn't, this system that we've been talking about. That when you finally wake up from it, you woke and you not playing the game no more. How you been playing?
And you're doing things to leave a better road for people to come behind you. Just like we're supposed to be the road that we drop by design. And I'm going to say this and we're going to go because I know you got to go.
For sure.
By design in the 60s and the 70s, when they drugged us out and bombed us out and did all of this stuff and drafted us, and we went to still fight in the wars and all of this other stuff, and then they put heroin and crack and all kind of other stuff and LSD and all this other insane stuff in our communities or whatever. You're sleeping because what we want trying to do is run from pain. That's the reason why people do what they do.
Facts.
But yet we won't. When we were pointing the finger where the pain come from, they killed us anyway. Well, we gonna die standing up, and don't lay down like a dog. Because dogs don't die laying down.
Facts.
Dog gonna get your ass if get a chance to.
Facts.
I'm not gonna die on my knees. You got to get me.
Facts.
County Cullen said that. Yeah, I'm not. We're gonna die fighting. We're not gonna die. That's the reason why I think we better take a look at this national anthem we singing, talking about walking and crying and praying.
Right.
But you got bombs bursting in the air and all this other shit. Pay attention to what the two of them say.
Fact.
You waiting to get you waiting to get your heaven in heaven when you die. Meanwhile, they building, Nina Simone said this too. Fact. They building they luxuries in heaven here on earth on your back. Meanwhile, you waiting to die to get yours. You're a damn fool. And on that note, family, we're gonna let Brother Mick go handle his business.
We out. Peace. And we see y'all Tuesday for Conspiratorial Tuesday. Peace.